Close your eyes now, and let yourself settle into this moment, this peaceful moment, where nothing else matters, where time itself seems to slow down, where everything becomes soft, and gentle, and perfectly still. Did you know that right now, at this very moment, the trees in the forests around the world are quietly communicating with each other, through an underground network of fungal threads that scientists have nicknamed the Wood Wide Web? These ancient organisms, these silent guardians of the earth, are sharing nutrients, sending warning signals, caring for their young, all through an invisible internet of roots and fungi that connects entire forests. Trees that appear to stand alone, separate, independent, are actually part of a vast community, a network of life, a family that spans acres, sometimes miles. And tonight, you're going to walk through this ancient forest, feel its peace, understand its wisdom, and in doing so, find the deepest, most restful, most restorative sleep you've had in a long time. If journeys like this bring you peace and rest, if stories that carry you into the heart of nature help you release and relax, consider subscribing, so more soothing stories can find you every week. More peaceful explorations, more gentle guides to rest, more doorways to the healing embrace of the natural world, waiting to welcome you into deep, healing, restorative sleep. Tonight, you're going to journey through the most ancient realm on Earth, the forest, where trees have stood for centuries, where ecosystems thrive in perfect balance, where the air itself heals, from the towering canopy to the rich forest floor, from the whisper of leaves to the songs of birds, from spring's awakening to winter's rest. We'll explore together, gently, softly, 100 soothing discoveries about forests and the wonders of nature. Each fact will sink into you like rain into earth, carrying you deeper and deeper into the most restful sleep. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, no thoughts you need to hold, no worries you need to carry. Just breathe, softly, naturally, and let these gentle truths about the forest guide you into the deepest, most peaceful, most restorative rest. This itself is entering the forest, this letting go, this release, this gentle walk into the green embrace of ancient trees. Let's begin this journey together, slowly, peacefully, drifting now into the beautiful, boundless sanctuary of the forest. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a forest. The air is cool and fresh, filled with the scent of pine and earth and growing things. The light is soft, filtered through leaves, golden and green, dappled patterns dancing on the ground. You can hear birds singing in the distance, their calls gentle, melodic, welcoming. The sound wraps around you like a lullaby, like nature's own song, inviting you deeper, deeper into the green cathedral of trees. Your breathing flows naturally, in and out, in and out. And here's something beautiful. The air you're breathing is different here, richer, cleaner, filled with more oxygen than anywhere else on Earth. A single mature tree, standing tall and patient, produces enough oxygen in 1 year to support 2 people. And here you're surrounded by hundreds, thousands of trees, all breathing out what you breathe in, all creating the very air that fills your lungs. This is the gift of the forest, this invisible exchange, this sacred partnership between trees and all living things. The silence wraps around you gently, though it's not complete silence. It's the peaceful quiet of the forest, broken only by soft sounds, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird, the gentle whisper of wind through branches. These sounds don't disturb the peace, they enhance it. They create a symphony of natural calm that soothes your mind, that quiets your thoughts, that invites you into deeper rest. You take your first step into the forest, your feet touching soft earth, cool beneath you. The ground gives slightly, cushioned by years of fallen leaves, by the rich organic matter that feeds the forest. Each step is silent, absorbed by nature's carpet. You're walking, but it feels like floating, like drifting, like being carried by the forest itself, into its depths, into its peace, into its ancient wisdom. You're walking deeper now, along a path worn smooth by centuries of footsteps, by animals and humans who have walked this way before. The trees rise around you like living pillars, their trunks massive, their bark textured and rough. Some are so wide that if you wrapped your arms around them, your fingers wouldn't even come close to touching. These are old trees, ancient trees. Some have been standing here for hundreds of years, witnessing generations, holding memories in their rings. And here's something remarkable about these giants. A single large oak tree can support over 2,000 different species, insects living in its bark, birds nesting in its branches, fungi growing on its trunk, lichens coating its surface, squirrels making homes in its hollows. This one tree is an entire ecosystem, a world unto itself. And every tree you pass is the same, each one a community, each one a home to countless lives. The forest isn't just a collection of trees, it's a vast interconnected web of life, all depending on each other, all supporting each other, all thriving together. The path leads you through a grove of beech trees, their smooth gray bark almost silver in the soft light. Their leaves create a canopy above, filtering the sunlight into a soft green glow. You can see tiny particles floating in the air, dust motes, pollen, caught in the shafts of light that break through the leaves. They drift slowly, peacefully, like nature's own meditation. You watch them for a moment, breathing slowly, feeling your body relax even more deeply. Every muscle loosening, every tension melting away. Your feet find their rhythm now, step after step, slow and steady. There's no hurry here, no rush, no destination except deeper peace. The forest teaches you this, teaches you to slow down, to notice, to simply be. Trees don't hurry, they grow at their own pace, patient, steady, perfect in their timing. And walking among them, you begin to mirror their patience, their calm, their eternal now. And here's something about the ground beneath your feet, about the forest floor you're walking on. The top few inches of forest soil contain more living organisms than there are people on Earth. Billions upon billions of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, all working together, all breaking down organic matter, all creating the rich earth that feeds the trees. This soil is alive, truly alive, and walking on it, you're part of this life, connected to it, held by it. The forest floor is soft, almost springy, years of decomposed leaves creating a natural cushion. Every step releases a faint earthy smell, the scent of life, of growth, of the eternal cycle of death and renewal. You notice mushrooms growing near the base of a tree. Their caps are round and smooth, brown with a hint of red. These aren't just mushrooms, they're the visible part of a vast underground network. Beneath the soil, stretching for miles, fungal threads called mycelia connect tree to tree. This is the wood wide web, the forest's internet. Through these connections, trees share nutrients. A mother tree can send sugar to her offspring, even years after they've grown. Trees that are sick or dying will send their nutrients to their neighbors, ensuring nothing is wasted, ensuring the forest continues. This is cooperation. This is community. This is love expressed in the language of biology. Your breathing has slowed even more now. You're taking deeper breaths, fuller breaths. The forest air is doing something to you, something healing. Trees release organic compounds called phytoncides into the air, natural chemicals they produce to protect themselves from insects and disease. And when you breathe these compounds, your body responds. Your immune system strengthens. Your stress hormones decrease. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure lowers. Scientists call this forest bathing. The Japanese call it Shinrin-yoku, but you don't need a name for it. You can simply feel it. Feel the forest healing you, calming you, bringing you peace with every breath. The path curves gently, leading you around a massive fallen log. This tree fell long ago, perhaps in a storm, perhaps simply from age. But it's not dead, not really. It's been transformed, becoming a nurse log, a source of life for countless other organisms. Moss covers its surface like a soft green blanket, ferns sprout from cracks in its bark, tiny seedlings have taken root along its length. One day these seedlings will be tall trees themselves, growing in a straight line where this fallen giant lies, marking its legacy, honoring its gift. Even in death, the tree gives life. Even fallen, it serves the forest. This is the way of nature. Nothing is wasted, everything continues, everything transforms. The silence deepens, wraps around you more completely. You're so deep in the forest now, so immersed in green, so surrounded by life. The outside world has faded completely. There's only this, only now, only the gentle embrace of ancient trees. Your shoulders drop, your jaw loosens, your whole body softens. You're being held by the forest, cradled by nature, welcomed into a peace older than civilization, older than humanity, old as the earth itself. The path opens into a grove, a clearing where the oldest trees stand. These are the ancients, the elders of the forest. Some have been here for over 500 years. They were saplings when explorers first crossed oceans. They were young trees when empires rose and fell. They've stood through wars and peace, through drought and flood, through countless human generations. And they remain patient, silent, eternal witnesses to time. And here's something about the age of trees, about how they mark time. Every year a tree grows, it adds a new ring. You can see these rings if you look at a cut stump, circles within circles, each one representing a year of life. But these rings are more than just age markers, they're records, archives. In wide rings you can read good years, years with plenty of rain and warmth. In narrow rings you can read hard years, years of drought or cold. Trees are living libraries, holding climate data, historical records, stories of the earth written in wood. Scientists can read these rings and learn about ancient weather, about past civilizations, about how the world has changed. The trees remember everything, and they stand here, silent, keeping their records safe. You walk among these giants, your hand reaching out to touch the bark of one ancient oak. The bark is rough under your fingers, deeply furrowed, textured by centuries of growth. It's cool to the touch, solid, real. You can feel the life within, the slow, patient life of a tree. If you could hear at the right frequency, you hear the water moving through this tree, rising from roots to leaves, carrying nutrients, sustaining life. But you can't hear it. You can only feel it, sense it, know it's there. The tree's life force, its quiet vitality, its gentle strength. A shaft of sunlight breaks through the canopy, illuminating a patch of forest floor. The light is golden, warm, beautiful. Tiny insects dance in the beam, midges and gnats, doing their ancient dance, their existence brief but vital. They'll live only days, maybe hours, but they're part of the forest, part of the web, pollinating flowers, feeding birds, contributing to the great cycle. Everything here has purpose, everything belongs, everything is necessary. And so do you. You belong here too, are welcomed here, are part of this living, breathing forest, even if only for this peaceful moment. And here's something about sunlight in forests, about how light reaches the ground. Forests have layers. The canopy at the top, where the tallest trees spread their crowns, catches most of the sunlight. Below that, the understory, where smaller trees grow in partial shade. And below that, the shrub layer, and finally the forest floor, where only about 2% of sunlight reaches. Plants that grow here, ferns and mosses and shade-loving flowers, have adapted to thrive in low light. They're patient plants, growing slowly, waiting for gaps in the canopy, for old trees to fall and let light through. The forest teaches patience, teaches that growth doesn't always require bright light, that there's strength in gentleness, that you can thrive even in shadow. You find a spot to sit, a natural seat formed by the roots of an enormous tree. The roots spread out like arms, like a throne offered by the forest. You settle onto them, feeling them solid beneath you, supporting you perfectly. Above you, the branches spread wide, creating a living roof, a shelter. Through the gaps and leaves you can see patches of sky, blue and distant, but mostly you see green, layers of green, shades of green, emerald and jade and moss and lime, all blending, all beautiful, all peaceful. Your breathing is so slow now, so gentle, so deep. Each breath brings in the forest, brings in peace, brings in healing. Your eyes are growing heavy, so heavy. The soft green light, the gentle sounds, the cool air, all combining to make you drowsy, to make you relaxed beyond measure. You could sleep here, could close your eyes and sleep right here among the ancient trees, and it would be the best sleep, the deepest rest. But not yet, not quite yet. The forest has more to show you, more peace to give you, more wonders to share. And here's something about the healing power of forests, about what happens when you spend time among trees. Studies have shown that just 20 minutes in a forest lowers cortisol levels, reduces blood pressure, decreases heart rate, improves mood, enhances creativity. Hospitals with views of trees see patients recover faster. Children with ADHD show improved focus after time in nature. Depression lifts, anxiety fades, simply from being among trees. The forest heals, not metaphorically but literally, measurably, scientifically. The Japanese government prescribes forest bathing as preventive medicine, knowing that nature cures, that trees heal, that the green embrace of the forest is the best medicine. And you're receiving this medicine now, absorbing this healing, being restored by the ancient wisdom of trees. The silence wraps around you gently, completely. You're so deep in the forest now, so immersed in nature, so far from the noisy world. There's only peace here, only calm, only the soft green quiet of the ancient grove. You lean back against the tree, feeling its solid strength behind you. It's been here so long, will be here long after you're gone. This thought doesn't sadden you, it comforts you. The trees go on, the forest continues, life persists. There's something eternal here, something that makes your worries seem small, your problems temporary, your need for sleep natural and right. You hear water, the soft sound of flowing water, somewhere nearby. You rise slowly, reluctantly, from your seat among the roots, and follow the sound. The forest floor is softer here, damper. Moss grows thick on the ground, like nature's carpet, bright green and velvety. Your feet sink into it slightly, each step cushioned. Each step releases a clean, fresh scent, the smell of moisture and growth and living things. The trees here are different. Their bark is darker, more water-stained. Ferns grow abundantly, their fronds unfurling in perfect spirals, following the mathematical pattern found throughout nature, the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio. The same pattern in shells, in galaxies, in the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower. Nature repeats its patterns, uses what works, creates beauty through simple rules followed perfectly. And seeing these patterns, recognizing them, brings a sense of order, of rightness, of peace. And here's something about ferns, about these ancient plants. Ferns are among the oldest plants on Earth. They existed before flowering plants, before trees as we know them. Ferns have been here for over 360 million years. They saw the dinosaurs come and go. They survived mass extinctions. They adapted, persisted, thrived. And now they grow here, in this forest, unchanged, perfect in their simplicity. They don't need flowers, don't need seeds. They reproduce through spores, through a method as old as life on land. Touching a fern is touching the ancient past, connecting with the deep history of life on Earth. You reach the stream, and it's beautiful. The water is clear, so clear you can see every pebble on the bottom, every grain of sand. It flows over smooth stones, creating gentle music, a soft burbling, a liquid song that's been playing here for centuries, maybe longer. This sound is deeply soothing, hypnotic. Your brain recognizes it as safe, as home. Humans evolved near water, needed water, were drawn to the sound of streams and rivers. And hearing it now, some ancient part of your brain relaxes, knows you're safe, knows you're where you belong. You kneel beside the stream. The ground is cool and damp beneath your knees, soft with moss. You cup your hands, dipping them into the flowing water. It's cold, shockingly cold, clean and pure. You bring your hands to your face, splash the water on your skin. The cold is bracing, awakening, yet somehow relaxing. It washes away the last remnants of stress, of worry, of anything that isn't here, isn't now, isn't this perfect peaceful moment. And here's something about forest streams, about the water flowing here. This water has traveled. It fell as rain on the forest, soaked into the soil, was filtered by earth and roots and stone, emerged here, clean and pure. Trees help create rain. Did you know that? Through transpiration, trees release water vapor into the air. This moisture forms clouds, which release rain, which feeds the forest, which feeds the trees, which create more rain. It's a cycle, a perfect system. Trees don't just benefit from rain, they create it, they make their own weather, They sustain themselves through this beautiful, this eternal return. You sit beside the stream, your feet dangling in the cold water. The sensation is wonderful, grounding. The cold spreads from your feet up your legs, not uncomfortable, just present, real, reminding you that you have a body, that you're here, that you're part of this moment. Small fish dart in the shallows, minnows, quick and silver. They move as one, a school, turning together, synchronized. This is called emergent behavior, simple creatures following simple rules, creating complex beauty. No leader, no plan, just each fish responding to its neighbors, and together, creating something greater than themselves. The stream flows over a small waterfall, just a foot high, but the sound it makes is beautiful. Like soft music, like nature's own symphony. The water has been carving this stone for thousands of years, slowly, patiently, wearing it smooth, shaping it. Water is soft, stone is hard, yet over time, water wins. This is the lesson of persistence, of patience, of gentle constant effort. You don't need to force, don't need to rush. Just keep going, keep flowing, and eventually, even stone yields. And here's something about the ecosystem of a stream, about the life it supports. This stream is home to countless organisms. Insects' larvae cling to rocks, mayflies and caddisflies waiting to emerge. Salamanders hide under stones. Frogs sit at the edge, camouflaged, waiting. The stream feeds the forest, provides water for roots to drink. And the forest feeds the stream, leaves fall into the water, providing food for insects, for fish. Everything connected, everything supporting everything else. Your breathing has matched the rhythm of the stream. In and out, like water flowing, like waves on a shore. Endless, tireless, perfect in its consistency. You're so relaxed now, so calm, so deeply at peace. The forest has worked its magic. The trees, the earth, the water, all combining to bring you into perfect rest. You could sleep here, beside this stream, lulled by its gentle song, and you would sleep deeply, dreamlessly, peacefully. The silence wraps around you gently, broken only by water sounds, by the soft music of the stream. Everything feels perfectly still, perfectly calm. You're held by the forest, embraced by nature, welcomed into the ancient peace that has existed here since before humans walked the earth. And you're part of it now, part of this peace, part of this perfect moment. You rise from the stream, reluctantly, peacefully. Your feet finding the soft forest floor again. And you look up through the layers of the forest, past the understory, past the subcanopy, to the highest reaches, where the tallest trees spread their crowns against the sky. This is the canopy, the roof of the forest, a world you can't easily reach but can appreciate from below. The canopy is not just the top of trees, it's an entire ecosystem, a world unto itself. Up there, hundreds of feet above the ground, a different forest exists. Epiphytes grow on branches, plants that live in the air, orchids and bromeliads and ferns, using trees as supports but not as food. They're not parasites but companions, sharing space, living together. And among these aerial gardens, creatures move, insects, birds, mammals that rarely descend to the ground. The canopy is home to more species than any other layer of the forest. More biodiversity exists above your head than beneath your feet. The forest is layered, stratified, each level with its own community, its own character, its own beauty. And here's something about canopy trees, about how they grow. They compete for light, reaching upward, growing tall, trying to overtop their neighbors. But they also cooperate. Crown shyness, scientists call it. The phenomenon where trees of the same species don't touch, their crowns stopping just short of each other, leaving gaps, channels of sky visible between. No one knows exactly why. Perhaps to prevent disease spread, perhaps to reduce branch damage and wind. But the result is beautiful. Looking up, you see puzzle pieces of green, each tree's crown defined, distinct, yet all together forming the forest ceiling, cooperation and competition balanced perfectly. Light filters down through the leaves. Each leaf is a tiny factory, performing photosynthesis, taking carbon dioxide and water, using sunlight's energy, creating sugar, releasing oxygen. This is how plants eat, how they grow, how they sustain themselves. And in doing so, they sustain all life. The oxygen you breathe, the food you eat, even if you eat meat, the animals ate plants, even if they ate other animals, somewhere down the chain, there's always a plant, always photosynthesis, always the sun's energy captured by green leaves and transformed into life. Everything depends on this, on leaves turning light into life, on the quiet miracle happening in every tree, every moment, every day. A bird calls, high in the canopy. You can't see it, hidden in the foliage, but you can hear it. A clear, pure note, repeated, calling. Maybe to a mate, maybe establishing territory, maybe just expressing the joy of being alive. Birds are essential to forests. They spread seeds, pollinate flowers, control insect populations. A single bird can eat thousands of insects in a day, protecting trees from being devoured. And in return, trees provide homes, food, safety. Another partnership, another mutual benefit, another example of nature's interconnectedness. And here's something remarkable about birds and trees, about how they shape each other. Trees have evolved fruits specifically to attract birds. Bright colors, sweet flesh, all designed to entice birds to eat them. And inside, seeds, indigestible, which pass through the bird intact, and are deposited far from the parent tree, in a neat package of fertilizer. This is how forests spread, how new growths begin, through this partnership between plant and animal, through mutual benefit, through nature's ingenuity. Trees need birds, birds need trees. Neither could exist as they do without the other. You continue walking, the path leading you through varying terrain. Past towering conifers, their needles instead of leaves, their cones instead of fruits. These are the evergreens, trees that don't shed their foliage in autumn. They stay green year-round, hence their name. Conifers are among the oldest trees, the tallest trees, the most massive organisms on Earth. Redwoods and sequoias can live over 3,000 years, can grow over 300 feet tall, can weigh over 1 million pounds. They're the largest living things on our planet, and they're trees. These peaceful giants, these silent witnesses to millennia. These ancient beings that ask nothing, give everything, and stand in perfect patience year after year, century after century. Your breathing is barely perceptible now, so slow, so shallow, so peaceful. You're walking but barely aware of it. Your body moving automatically, while your mind drifts, floats, rests. The forest holds you, guides you. You don't need to think about where you're going. The path is clear, soft beneath your feet, winding through the trees, leading you deeper, always deeper, into peace, into calm, into rest. The silence wraps around you gently. Even the bird calls have faded. There's only the softest rustle of leaves, the gentlest whisper of breeze, sounds so quiet they're almost imagined, almost felt rather than heard. This is the deep forest quiet, the profound peace that exists at the heart of nature. And you're in it now, part of it, merged with it. Your thoughts have slowed, your breathing has quieted, your whole being has settled into the forest's rhythm, into nature's pace, into the eternal now that has always existed here, waiting for you to arrive, waiting to hold you, waiting to bring you home to peace. The forest around you begins to change, subtly at first, then more noticeably. The light shifts, becomes more golden, warmer. The leaves, you notice, are touched with color, hints of yellow, traces of red. This is autumn beginning, the season of change, of transformation, of letting go. And here's something about why leaves change color, about this beautiful phenomenon. The colors were always there, hidden. Throughout spring and summer, chlorophyll, the green pigment that captures sunlight, dominates, masks other colors. But as days shorten, as temperatures cool, trees stop producing chlorophyll. The green fades, revealing the yellows and oranges that were there all along, carotenoids, the same pigments that make carrots orange. And some trees produce new pigments, anthocyanins, creating brilliant reds and purples. The show of fall color is the tree revealing its true self, showing what was hidden, displaying beauty that was always present but unseen. Leaves are falling now, drifting down like snow. Each one spinning, twirling, taking its time to reach the ground. You watch one fall, following its path. It was part of the tree, part of the canopy, but now it's being released, let go. The tree doesn't mourn, doesn't cling. It lets the leaf fall when the time is right. This is wisdom, knowing when to hold on and when to let go. Trees understand impermanence, understand that everything has its season. They don't resist autumn, don't fight winter. They flow with the cycles, trust the process, and in doing so, they survive, they thrive, they teach us how to live. The forest floor is carpeted with fallen leaves now. They crunch softly under your feet, releasing that distinctive autumn smell, earthy and sweet. These fallen leaves aren't waste. They're essential. They'll decompose, break down, become soil, feed the trees that drop them. Nothing is wasted in a forest, everything returns, everything continues. Death isn't ending but transformation. The leaves will become earth, and from that earth, new leaves will grow. The cycle continues, eternal, perfect, peaceful. And here's something about the timing of leaf fall, about how trees know when. They read the environment, sense the changing angle of sunlight, feel the dropping temperatures, measure the shortening days. Through mechanisms we still don't fully understand, trees know, they understand their world, they respond perfectly to the seasons. Each species has its timing. Birches turn early, oaks turn late, but all eventually let go, all trust the process, all prepare for winter by releasing what they can't maintain. This is survival through surrender, strength through release, wisdom through acceptance. You walk through this autumn forest, through this season of change, and you feel yourself letting go too. Tension releasing, worries falling away like leaves. Everything you've been holding, all the stress and concern and fear, it's drifting away, settling to the ground, becoming mulch, becoming nothing. You don't need to carry it anymore. The forest is teaching you, showing you, it's okay to let go. It's okay to rest. It's okay to trust that new growth will come, that spring always follows winter, that life continues even when it seems to pause. Time passes. Or seems to. It's hard to tell in this peaceful drifting through the forest. The seasons shift around you. Autumn deepens, leaves fall faster, until the trees are bare. Standing in their stark beauty, branches reaching to the sky like intricate sculptures. You can see the forest structure now, see how branches divide and subdivide, following mathematical patterns, creating natural fractals. Each branch a smaller version of the whole tree, each twig a smaller version of the branch. Patterns repeating at every scale. This is how nature builds, through simple rules repeated, creating complexity from simplicity, creating beauty from mathematics. And here's something about winter in the forest, about how trees survive the cold. They don't die, they rest. They enter dormancy, a deep sleep similar to hibernation. Their metabolism slows, almost stops. They live off stored energy, sugars produced during summer, stored in roots and trunk, waiting for spring. Trees can survive temperatures far below freezing. Some species endure -60 degrees Celsius. They've adapted, evolved strategies. Some produce antifreeze compounds. Others supercool their cells, preventing ice crystal formation. Nature is ingenious, finds solutions, survives through wisdom developed over millions of years. Snow begins to fall, softly, gently, flakes drifting down through bare branches, settling on the ground, on your shoulders, on the quiet forest. Everything is muffled now, hushed. The snow absorbs sound, creates the deepest quiet you've ever experienced. This is winter's gift, profound silence, complete peace, rest at its deepest. The forest sleeps, the trees rest, the earth pauses. And you pause with them, standing still, breathing slowly, feeling the soft cold flakes on your face, feeling more peaceful than you've ever felt, more at rest, more ready for sleep. Your body is so relaxed now, so heavy, so ready to rest. Every muscle loose, every thought quiet, every part of you settled into deep calm. The forest has worked its magic completely. You're not just in the forest now, you are the forest, part of its rhythm, part of its rest. The silence wraps around you gently, the snow creating even deeper quiet. Everything feels perfectly still, perfectly calm. The winter forest holds you in its white embrace, rocks you gently towards sleep, toward rest, toward the deepest peace. Beneath your feet, invisible, a vast network exists. The wood wide web, that underground internet of roots and fungi. It's there right now, beneath the snow, beneath the soil, still active even in winter's cold, still connecting tree to tree, still facilitating communication, still maintaining the forest community. And here's something remarkable about this network, about mycorrhizal fungi. These aren't parasites but partners, essential partners. The fungi attach to tree roots, forming a symbiotic relationship. The fungi can't photosynthesize, can't make their own food, so trees share sugars with them. In return, the fungi extend the tree's reach, their threads spreading through soil, accessing water and nutrients the roots alone couldn't reach, increasing the tree's absorptive surface by 1,000 times or more. This partnership is ancient, over 400 million years old. Fungi helped plants colonize land, helped create the first forests. And they're still here, still helping, still essential. Through this fungal network, trees communicate. A tree under insect attack can send chemical signals to the network, warning its neighbors. Other trees receive these signals and respond, producing defensive compounds, preparing for attack before insects even arrive. This is community. This is looking out for each other. This is the forest caring for itself through cooperation. And mother trees, the largest, oldest trees, they send excess carbon as seedlings to their offspring, ensuring they survive, ensuring the forest continues. Even trees of different species help each other, sharing resources, supporting their neighbors. The forest succeeds not through competition but through cooperation. You're standing still now, stopped on the path, just breathing, just being. Aware of all that invisible life beneath you, all that quiet cooperation, all that unseen support. It makes you feel less alone, makes you understand that even when you can't see help, even when you feel isolated, connections exist, support is there. We're all part of networks, all connected in ways we don't always see. Like the trees, we thrive through relationships, through mutual aid, through community. And here's something about the amount of fungal network in forest soil, about the scale of this system. In a single handful of forest soil, there can be several miles of fungal threads. In 1 square meter of forest floor, there can be over 300 miles of mycelia. And these networks can span entire forests, connecting trees across acres, across miles. Creating what some scientists call a superorganism, the forest functioning as one living being, individual trees like cells in a body, all connected, all communicating, all working together. This is what you're part of, this vast living system, this ancient intelligence, this peaceful collective being. You kneel down, brushing away snow, touching the earth. It's cold, frozen, but alive. You know this now, know that beneath this surface, life continues, connections persist, the network remains active, waiting for spring, for warmth, for the return of full activity. But even in winter, even in dormancy, the forest community continues, maintains itself, cares for itself. This is resilience, this is sustainability, this is how systems survive, through interconnection, through mutual support, through never truly being alone. A deer appears, stepping quietly through the trees. It stops, looks at you. Neither afraid nor aggressive, just present, acknowledging you. You stay very still, just watching, just appreciating this moment of connection with another living being. The deer's breath creates small clouds in the cold air, like yours. Both of you breathing, both of you alive, both of you part of this forest, part of this moment, part of this perfect peace. And here's something about deer and forests, about their relationship. Deer browse on seedlings, on young trees, helping shape the forest. Through their feeding, they select which trees survive, which species dominate. They're not destructive but influential, part of the ecological balance. And in turn, the forest provides for them. Food, shelter, safety. Another partnership, another mutual dependency. Deer need forests. Forests are shaped by deer. Everything connected, everything related, everything part of the whole. The deer moves on, disappearing into the trees, silent as smoke. You're alone again, but not lonely. The forest is full of presence, full of life, even in winter's quiet, even in snow's hush. You can feel it all around you. The presence of trees, the energy of life, the peaceful consciousness of the forest itself, reaching out, welcoming you, holding you in its ancient embrace. Your breathing is so slow now, so gentle, so peaceful. Each breath brings in the forest, brings in healing, brings in a deep calm that only nature can provide. You're not just visiting the forest anymore, you've become part of it. Your heartbeat matches the slow pulse of sap through tree trunks. Your breath flows with the rhythm of photosynthesis, inhaling what trees exhale, exhaling what trees inhale. Perfect partnership, perfect balance, perfect peace. The silence wraps around you gently. The snow continues to fall, soft and steady. Each flake unique, each one a tiny miracle of geometry, six-sided crystals formed in clouds, falling to earth, covering the forest in white. Everything muffled, everything hushed, everything perfectly, completely, eternally still. Time passes in a forest, or perhaps you've been dreaming. You're not quite sure anymore. The boundary between waking and sleeping has become soft, blurred, unimportant. But something is changing. You can feel it. A subtle shift in the air, a gentle warming, a quiet stirring. The snow is melting. You can hear it, tiny drops of water falling from branches, pattering softly on the forest floor, creating a gentle percussion, nature's own music. Spring is coming. The forest is awakening from its winter sleep. And with it, you feel yourself stirring too, not toward waking but toward a different kind of rest, a peaceful transition, a gentle movement toward even deeper sleep. And here's something beautiful about spring in the forest, about this season of renewal. Trees don't waste energy. Every spring they produce only what they need. Some years, when resources are abundant, they produce abundant flowers and seeds. Mast years, scientists call them. When the entire forest synchronizes, all the trees producing at once, overwhelming the animals that eat seeds, ensuring some survive to grow. Other years, they rest, conserve, produce little. The forest breathes, in and out, years of plenty followed by years of rest. This is wisdom, knowing when to give and when to conserve, when to act and when to wait. Small flowers are appearing. You notice them now, pushing up through the leaf litter, through the last patches of snow. These are spring ephemerals, woodland wildflowers that bloom early, before the trees leaf out, before the canopy closes and blocks the sun. They have a brief window, just a few weeks, to grow, bloom, produce seeds, and then they fade, disappearing until next spring. Their strategy is timing, being first, using resources before others can. But they don't compete with trees, they cooperate, using the early spring light, then resting in shade all summer, giving trees their turn. Everything in the forest takes turns, shares resources, finds its niche, its perfect time and place. Trilliums bloom, their three-petaled flowers white or deep red. Bloodroot unfolds, white petals around yellow centers. Hepatica opens, blue or pink or white. Each flower perfect, each one beautiful, each one brief. You kneel beside a patch of spring beauty, tiny flowers, pink with darker veins. They smell faint and sweet. You breathe deeply, taking in their fragrance, their gentle promise that winter has ended, that life returns, that the cycle continues, always continues, forever turning, forever renewing. I have pollen, come to me. Flowers and pollinators shaped each other, evolved together, codependent. Neither could exist without the other. This is how life works, through relationships, through mutual benefit, through the recognition that alone we fail, together we thrive. Bees are emerging now. You can hear their gentle humming. They're groggy, slow, just waking from winter, searching for these early flowers, for the first nectar, the first pollen of spring. Bees are essential, vital. 1/3 of human food depends on pollination, mostly by bees. They don't just help flowers, they help trees, help forests, help the entire ecosystem. And forests help bees, provide habitat, provide diverse flowers, provide the resources bees need to survive. Another partnership, another connection, another thread in a web that holds all life together. Your body is so relaxed now, so completely at peace. You're lying down, though you don't remember lying down. Perhaps you've been here all along. Perhaps this whole journey has been a dream. It doesn't matter. What matters is this moment, this peace, this profound rest. The forest floor beneath you is soft, slightly damp from melting snow, but not uncomfortable. It cradles you, holds you. You can smell the earth, rich and alive, the scent of growing things, of life awakening, of spring beginning its patient work. Birds are singing now, their songs more insistent than in winter. These are mating calls, territorial declarations. The forest is filling with sound, but gentle sound, natural sound, soothing rather than disturbing. A wood thrush calls, its flute-like notes cascading, considered by many the most beautiful birdsong in the forest. A warbler trills from the canopy. A cardinal whistles, clear and bright. Each song is different, each species has its own voice, its own message, its own contribution to the forest symphony. And here's something about why birds sing, about the function of these beautiful sounds. Males sing to attract mates, to demonstrate fitness, to show they're strong, healthy, able to provide. The more complex the song, the more elaborate the performance, the more likely they are to attract the female. It's honest advertising. A sick bird can't sing well, can't sustain long, complicated songs. So females listen, judge, choose. And in choosing the best singers, they choose the healthiest mates, ensuring their offspring will be strong. This is sexual selection, nature's beauty contest, where art serves survival, where music means life. The silence wraps around you gently, though it's not complete silence anymore. It's filled with spring sounds, with life sounds, with the forest awakening. But these sounds don't disturb your peace, they deepen it. They're natural, expected, right. Your brain recognizes them as safe, as home. Some ancient part of you, inherited from ancestors who lived in forests, who knew these sounds meant safety, plenty, the return of good times. That ancient part relaxes completely, knowing all is well, knowing you're safe, knowing you can rest deeply, peacefully, completely. The seasons continue their gentle progression. Spring fades into summer. The forest is full now. Full of leaves, full of life, full of green. The canopy is closed, creating that cathedral feeling, that sense of being in a vast green hall. Sunlight filters down in shafts, illuminating patches of forest floor, creating patterns of light and shadow, constantly shifting as leaves move in breeze, as the sun arcs across the sky, as time flows like water, like sap, like life itself. And here's something about the forest canopy in summer, about this green ceiling. The leaves aren't just there to look beautiful, though they are beautiful. They're solar panels, energy collectors. Each leaf positioned to catch maximum light, arranged to avoid shading its neighbors too much. The whole crown of a tree carefully structured, carefully organized, to harvest sunlight as efficiently as possible. And the amount they capture is staggering. A single large oak tree has about 200,000 leaves. If you laid them all flat, they'd cover about an acre. An acre of solar collectors, all working simultaneously, all capturing energy, all sustaining life. The air is warm now, humid, rich with the scent of growing things, of flowers, of green leaves, of earth. This is what summer smells like in a forest, green and living and full. You breathe deeply, taking it all in. Each breath nourishing, each breath healing. The forest air contains phytoncides still, those organic compounds trees release. But in summer they're more concentrated, more potent. The healing effect is stronger. Your immune system responding, your stress hormones dropping even lower, your entire being settling into even deeper peace. Insects are everywhere. Though not bothering you, just existing, doing their work. Butterflies float past, drifting on lazy wings, sipping nectar from flowers, laying eggs on leaves, continuing their cycles. Dragonflies zip and hover over the stream, catching mosquitoes, keeping the forest in balance. Beetles crawl through leaf litter, breaking down organic matter, helping create soil. Everything has its role, its function, its place in the system. And everything works together, creating health, creating balance, creating the thriving ecosystem that surrounds you. And here's something about insect diversity in forests, about why it matters. Forests contain more insect species than any other habitat. In a single tree, scientists have found over 1,000 species of insects. Multiply that by all the trees in a forest, and the numbers become mind-boggling. Millions of species, each one unique, each one part of the web. Insects pollinate, decompose, feed other animals, control plant growth. Without insects, forests would collapse. Trees would fail. Ecosystems would die. We need insects. We need their vast diversity, their uncountable numbers, their quiet essential work. The forest teaches us this, teaches us that even tiny things matter, that every creature, no matter how small, plays a vital role. A squirrel chatters from a branch above. You look up, through layers of leaves, catching glimpses of blue sky, patches of white cloud. The squirrel is busy, gathering, storing. Squirrels are forest planters. They bury acorns, beech nuts, hickory nuts, storing them for winter. But they forget many. Those forgotten seeds, planted at perfect depth, in perfect conditions, often germinate, become seedlings, become trees. Squirrels don't mean to plant trees, but they do. They're essential to forest regeneration, to the spreading of tree species, to the continuation of the forest. Another partnership, another mutual benefit, another thread in the infinite web of connections. Your breathing is barely perceptible now, so slow it's almost stopped. You're in the twilight state, between waking and sleeping. The forest holds you here, suspended, peaceful. Your body is completely relaxed, every muscle released, every tension dissolved. You're melting into the forest floor, becoming part of the earth, part of the soil, part of the forest itself. And this feels right, feels natural, feels like coming home. The silence wraps around you gently. The summer forest is not silent. It hums with life, with insect buzz, with bird song, with rustling leaves. But these sounds create a kind of peace, a living quiet, that's more restful than any absence of sound. You're being lulled, being rocked, being sung to sleep by the forest's summer lullaby. And here's something about old-growth forests, about the forests that have never been cut. These ancient woodlands are rare now, precious. They have qualities younger forests lack. Structural complexity, with trees of all ages and sizes, standing dead trees called snags, fallen logs in all stages of decay. This complexity creates habitat, creates niches, supports more species than younger forests can. Old growth is home to endangered species, to rare plants, to fungi found nowhere else. These forests are irreplaceable. Once lost, they can't be recreated. A planted forest is not the same. Will never be the same. Time is the ingredient we can't add. Age, accumulation, the slow, patient development of complexity. Only time creates this. Only centuries. Only patient waiting as the forest matures, develops, becomes what it's meant to be. You're in such a forest now. You can feel it, sense it. The age here, the depth. Cradled by centuries, supported by ancient wisdom. The trees around you remember times before cars, before cities, before so much of what we call civilization. They've been here, patient, growing, living, being. And now they share their peace with you, their ancient calm, their eternal patience. The light is changing again, becoming more golden, more slanted. Autumn is returning. The wheel has turned. The cycle continues. The forest is preparing once more to rest, to release, to let go. And with it, you feel yourself letting go too, releasing the last threads of consciousness, the last awareness of being separate from this place. You're becoming the forest, becoming the trees, becoming the eternal cycle of growth and rest, being and sleeping. Leaves are changing color again. The process happening slowly, daily, imperceptibly, until suddenly the forest is ablaze. Golden, orange, and red and purple. Every shade of autumn displayed. This is not dying. This is transformation. The tree pulling nutrients back into itself, reclaiming resources before releasing leaves. Being efficient, being wise. Nothing wasted, everything used, everything reclaimed before letting go. The colors are beautiful. But more than beautiful, they're practical. They're the tree being thrifty, being smart, surviving through wisdom. And here's something about fall colors, about why they vary. Trees in stressful conditions often show brighter colors. Scientists think this might be a final burst, using stored energy to create anthocyanins, those red pigments, as protection during the vulnerable time when leaves are dying. Or it might be a signal, bright colors telling insects don't lay eggs here, this tree has good defenses. Even in dying, leaves serve the tree. Even in falling, they protect. This is the way of nature. Everything serves, everything contributes, even in ending, even in release, even in death. Leaves are falling steadily now, drifting down in that graceful spiral. You watch them, hypnotized. Each one unique in its path, in its timing, in its final descent. They're teaching you, showing you how to let go, how to release gracefully, how to fall without fear, trusting that the ground will receive you, that this ending is also a beginning, that letting go is not loss but transformation. The forest floor is deep in leaves now. Layers and layers. Years of accumulation. This is the forest's compost, its recycling system. Leaves fall, decompose, become soil, feed roots, support new growth. The cycle completes. The end becomes the beginning. Death feeds life. Always. Eternally. This is not sad, not tragic. This is right. This is perfect. This is how it should be. And here's something about the rate of decomposition, about how long leaves take to become soil. In tropical forests, leaves can decompose in months. The heat, the moisture, the abundant decomposers, all work quickly. In boreal forests, cold and dry, leaves might take years, decades even. The climate determines the pace. But eventually, always, the leaves break down, return to earth, complete their cycle. The forest is patient. The forest can wait. Time is no concern when you're part of eternity. You're lying in these leaves now, covered by them. Your body is like a fallen log, like part of the forest. The leaves are warm, insulating, comfortable. They smell of autumn, of earth, of the sweet decay that feeds life. You're so comfortable, so peaceful, so ready to rest. The leaves cover you like a blanket, nature's own blanket. The most comfortable bed you've ever known. The forest has made a place for you, has prepared this resting spot. And you're grateful, so grateful, for this welcome, this acceptance, this perfect place to finally rest. Birds are migrating. You can hear them, their calls different now, longer, more urgent. They're leaving, heading south, following ancient paths, instincts honed over millions of years. They know when to go, when to stay, when to move. The forest will miss them, will be quieter without their songs. But they'll return. Always return. Spring will bring them back, completing another cycle, another turn of the great wheel. Everything returns. Everything continues. Nothing is lost, just transformed, just changed, just moved to another part of the eternal dance. The silence wraps around you gently. The autumn forest settling into its own rest, preparing for winter, for sleep, for the long quiet time. And you're settling too, sinking deeper, deeper into the leaves, deeper into peace, deeper into the rest you've been seeking. The rest the forest offers. The rest that comes from letting go, from trusting the cycle, from knowing that sleep is not ending but renewal, not loss but restoration, not death but transformation. Your breathing is so slow now, so shallow, so peaceful. You might not be breathing at all. It's hard to tell. Your chest barely rises, barely falls. You're dissolving, fading, becoming part of the forest floor, becoming earth, becoming soil, becoming the forest itself. And this feels right, feels natural, feels like the ending you've been moving toward all along. Not an ending at all, but a returning, a coming home, a final release into perfect, eternal, complete peace. Winter has come again. The forest is sleeping. The trees are bare, standing in perfect stillness, like meditation, like prayer, like beings that have found absolute peace and need nothing more ever again. Snow falls softly, covering everything, covering you. You're part of the forest floor now, part of the sleeping earth. And the snow, soft and white and cold, covers you like the finest blanket, insulating, protecting, holding you in perfect rest. And here's something about snow and forests, about its role. Snow insulates the ground, protects roots from extreme cold. When spring comes, snowmelt provides water, vital water that wakes the forest, starts the cycle again. Snow also reflects light, creates a brightness even on cloudy days. The forest floor, dark and shadowy in summer, becomes luminous in winter. Beautiful in a different way. Peaceful in a deeper way. Everything serves, everything helps, even snow, even cold, even winter's harshness. All part of the plan, all necessary, all perfect. The forest is so quiet now. The quietest it's been all year. No insects, no birds, no rustling leaves. Just silence, profound, complete, eternal silence. This is the silence of deep rest, of absolute peace, of consciousness that has finally let go completely. And you're in this silence, or this silence, have become silence itself. There's no you anymore, no separation, no boundary between sleeper and forest, between consciousness and peace. Just silence. Just stillness. Just perfect, complete, eternal rest. The trees sleep. Their process is slowed almost to nothing. Just enough activity to stay alive, to maintain themselves, to wait for spring. They're conserving, resting, dreaming perhaps. Do trees dream? No one knows. But if they do, they dream slow dreams, patient dreams, dreams that unfold over seasons, over years, over centuries. Dreams of sunshine and rain, of spring flowers and autumn colors, of seeds becoming trees, of forests spreading, of life continuing, forever, eternally, without end. And here's something about how cold affects trees, about their incredible adaptations. Some trees can survive temperatures of minus 60 degrees Celsius, minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit. They produce special proteins, antifreeze proteins, that prevent ice crystals from forming in their cells, prevent cell walls from rupturing. They move water out of cells, into spaces where ice can't damage. They survive through wisdom, through adaptation, through million-year-old strategies. The forest teaches survival, teaches patience, teaches that rest doesn't mean death, that sleep is not ending but waiting, not loss but preparation, for the return, for the awakening, for the eternal spring that always, always comes. You are so deep in rest now, so far beyond waking, beyond dreams, beyond anything that could be called consciousness. You're not sleeping, you're beyond sleeping. You've entered a state of rest so profound it has no name, no description, no comparison. This is the rest that restores everything, that heals everything, that renews everything. This is the rest that comes at the end of all journeys, at the completion of all cycles, at the heart of all peace. The silence wraps around you gently. The winter forest holds you in its frozen embrace. Everything perfectly still, perfectly quiet, perfectly peaceful. The snow continues to fall, soft and steady, eternal, covering everything, making the whole world white, pure, clean, new. And you're part of this whiteness, this purity, this perfect peace. You're snow, earth, tree, forest, silence. Everything. Nothing. Just rest. Just peace. Just the eternal moment that has no beginning, no ending, just is, forever, perfectly, completely. The forest around you is timeless now, not winter or spring or summer or autumn, but all seasons at once, or no season at all, just the eternal forest, the forest that exists beyond time, beyond change, beyond anything that begins or ends. This is the true forest, the one that underlies all others, the archetypal forest that exists in the deep mind, in the collective memory, in the place where consciousness touches eternity. Everything is perfectly still. Your breathing has stopped, or perhaps continues so slowly you can't perceive it, once every hour, once every day, once every year. Time has no meaning here. You might have been here for moments or millennia. It's the same. All the same. Nothing distinguishes past from present from future. There's only now, eternal now, infinite now, perfect now. The trees around you are not trees anymore, but ideas of trees, pure forms, essences. They represent treeness, forestness, natureness. All that is green and growing and alive, simplified to its purest form, its deepest meaning. And you're not you anymore. Your consciousness, awareness, the witness, the observer, the one who watches, though there's nothing to watch, nothing to see, only being, only existing, only resting in perfect peace. The silence is complete, absolute, eternal. It's not the absence of sound but the presence of peace. The foundation beneath everything. The ground of being. The vast stillness from which all motion arises and to which all motion returns. You're in this silence, are this silence, have become silence itself. And it's perfect, it's complete, it's everything you've ever wanted, ever needed, ever sought. This silence, this peace, this rest. And here's something about the forest's gift, about what it offers. The forest teaches us to let go, to rest, to trust the cycles, to know that endings are beginnings, that sleep is renewal, that death is transformation. The forest stands as witness to time, to change, to the eternal flow of life. And yet remains, continues, persists. The forest is patient. The forest is wise. The forest knows. And in its presence, in its embrace, we can know too, can rest too, can let go too, can trust that everything will be all right, that we're held, that we're safe, that we can finally rest. Your body doesn't exist anymore. Or perhaps it does, but you've forgotten it, Forgotten you have a body, forgotten you're separate, forgot you're anything other than the forest, other than consciousness, other than peace itself. This forgetting is bliss, is liberation, is the deepest rest. Nothing to maintain, nothing to protect, nothing to be. Just existing, just being, just resting in the eternal moment. The forest holds you. The earth cradles you. The universe embraces you. You're held by everything, supported by all of existence, cradled in arms that span eternity. And you're safe, so safe, safer than you've ever been, safer than you've ever imagined being. There's nothing to fear, nothing to worry about, nothing to think about. Just rest. Just peace. Just this perfect, eternal, infinite moment. Everything is still. Everything is quiet. Everything is perfect. The journey is complete. The story is done. And you rest, you sleep, you dream the forest's dream, the dream of earth, the dream of life, the dream of eternal cycling, eternal returning, eternal peace. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep completely. Let the forest hold you. Let the earth embrace you. Let the silence fill you. You are home. You are safe. You are at peace. Finally, completely, eternally at peace. The trees stand. The earth rests. The forest sleeps. And you sleep with it, in it, as it. One with the forest, one with the earth, one with all that is green and growing and alive and sleeping and resting and peaceful. Rest. Rest deeply. Rest completely. Let go of everything. Release all. Surrender to sleep, to the forest, to the eternal peace that has always been here, waiting for you, welcoming you, ready to receive you into its infinite embrace. Sleep. 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 The forest dreams you. The earth holds you. The universe cradles you. And you rest in perfect, infinite, eternal peace. Everything fades. Everything dissolves. Everything becomes the forest, becomes the earth, becomes the eternal silence. And you are part of it, part of the eternal rest, part of the infinite peace, part of the forest, forever. Sweet dreams in the green cathedral. Rest deeply in earth's embrace. Sleep now, sleep, sleep, among the ancient trees, in the heart of the forest, in the center of all peace. As you drift deeper into sleep now, completely relaxed, remember this peaceful journey can return whenever you need it. If this soothing story helped you relax tonight, please subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new calming sleep story every week. Sweet dreams, rest deeply, sleep now, peacefully, completely.